Alright, Fox Body fans, give you a little update as to what's been going on. Haven't really been making as many videos as I've wanted to this year, so I'm going to run through what's been happening because I got a bunch of videos of the black car that I haven't posted yet. So I guess I'll take you back to March of 2017 and what was going on, what my plan was for this year. So, you know, this white car, I mean, I've owned it since 1998. I've done a lot of mods to it, and back in 1999 I started racing it in SCCA Solo 2, and didn't get very far with like doing suspension mods and all that, and there's a lot of things I wanted to do to the car, you know, 15 years ago that I never got around to doing. And you know, this car's actually been sitting for a long time. So I mean, I raced it in SCCA in 02, 03, built the 331 stroker motor for it. Then 03 I ended up buying this house, and you know, just kind of got taken away from playing with it. And in 2006 I ended up taking it out and drag racing it. So what ended up happening there, borrowed my dad's drag radials and had skinnies on the front, and you know, this car's got a 273 gear in it. So the combination of, you know, coming out of the hole at $5 on a drag radial with a 273 tire pretty much destroyed the clutch. So ever since 06 the clutch has been, you know, just on its way out. So, you know, within the past, you know, three or 4 years, it got to the point where it was really just dangerous to drive the car. So, you know, back in March I was thinking, like, you know, I wanted to at least get a clutch in this car, make it drivable. You know, I've got that black Mustang now. That thing's having issues with, you know, it was leaking oil. Tried getting that straightened out and ended up making it worse. I had coolant issues. It went from not heating up to overheating, and just, I mean, that car has been kind of crazy. Just really weird stuff happening with it. So anyways, my plan back in March was, you know, I wanted to get a clutch in this one. Basically, the first thing I wanted to do was try to get the oil leak straightened out on the black one so I could take that over to my dad's house and let it sit there. I wanted to get the white one back over here, and you know, it was that my buddy Bob had it in his garage for the winter. So if you're watching, thanks Bob for, you know, letting me keep the car over there for the winter. It means a lot to me. And so, you know, my plan was to get that black one over to my dad's house, get the white one back over here, do the clutch, and then I want to get going on my dad's car. Got a lot of parts for my dad's car. It's got long tube headers, got to put a new transmission cross member in there, drive shaft, safety loop, and a whole bunch of other like miscellaneous stuff. Like, got to do the brakes on it, got stainless steel braided brake lines, and got to go through the nitrous and go through all the lines and all that. We had a nitrous leak back when he ran it in 2013. And I mean, just stop and think about that. Last time we had a chance to take my dad's car out, it was 2013. So, you know, getting tired of like not being able to enjoy these cars. I mean, the white one was useless with no clutch in it. My dad's car needs work. You know, and then I had to go and buy that black one last year, so that just kind of complicated things, but I can't complain. That's actually a pretty nice car, even though it needs a motor. It's pretty solid. So anyways, what ended up happening, like I said, I got a bunch of videos of the black one I'll probably end up posting. They're kind of random. Things weren't really going as I planned. And back in March I was considering like doing the suspension to my white car. I thought, you know, maybe if I get the clutch in there, do the suspension, and then do what I should have done a long time ago, is finally put that 373 gear in there. So basically what ended up happening, it was funny, my buddy Bob texted me out of nowhere, and he was like, hey man, why don't you buy a clutch for this car, we'll throw it in there. And I was like, okay, yeah, let's do this. So you know, I'm lucky my buddy Bob helped me out. We actually did the clutch at his house. I got some footage of that. You know, nothing major. I didn't like film the whole thing, but got the clutch in the car. So, you know, super excited about that. I got a nice ram clutch with a lightweight aluminum flywheel. Everything went together real nice. So, you know, I got the clutch broken in. That was nice. I mean, being able to drive the car again, driving the car with a clutch that functions was just amazing. It's been a long time since I've been able to really drive this car. So, you know, getting the clutch broken in, I don't know, it just kind of hit me. Like I said, back in March, I was kind of looking at springs and shocks and thinking about doing that, or coilovers, and should I get adjustable dampers, or how should I do this? Do I want to get wheels and tires? So, I don't know, it just kind of hit me. I was like, man, I'm gonna get the dampers and the springs and do the suspension. So, I don't know, I guess just driving the car just kind of, you know, lit the fire to do that. So that's what I did. I got the AGX adjustable dampers. I got BBK drop springs on there. Got the Steeda bump steer kit tie rod ends. I've got Maximum Motorsport caster camber plates that I bought back in 1999. I was looking at the invoice. The invoice is literally $99.99. Took all the way till 2017 for me to finally put them on there, so that's pretty retarded, but you know, that's what happens. I guess sometimes life just gets in the way of doing this stuff, you know, things don't really go as you planned. So, you know, going back to April, started messing around with the black car, and you know, it was just a bunch of headaches, and I don't know, I was getting kind of depressed, you know. I just felt like this summer was going to get wasted again, and it'd be snowing before I know it, and you know, I figured wouldn't be able to get my dad's car out to the track and all that, so I was getting kind of bummed out about it. And then you know, my buddy texted me about the clutch, and I don't know, things have been coming together, so I'm really excited. So obviously, as you can see, I got the wheels and tires on there and all that. So not too long after doing the suspension, it took me a couple weeks to get the suspension straightened out, finally got it aligned, and it was funny, took it out, you know, was trying out the new suspension. It was just awesome. I mean, this car, haven't really tweaked the suspension, and it has such a neutral feel to it, and that was with the turbine wheels on there. I was running Falcon 912s, which actually a pretty damn good tire for being, you know, a 60 series ridiculously huge sidewall. But it's like once the flex came out of the sidewalls, those tires actually grip pretty good. I was kind of shocked. So I was super happy about that. I'm glad I got the adjustable dampers. I want to make some videos about that. Like, I think that's definitely the way to go. It's probably not that big of a deal with me because I don't really drive this car that much, but it does make a big difference in the ride comfort. So especially if you have a car that you're daily driving and you also want to, you know, do some cornering, I would highly recommend getting the adjustable dampers. I think they're well worth it. So, you know, I'm going to get into what I got left to do to this, and then you know, I'm definitely going to be making videos about my dad's car, so I just got to finish up some stuff with this thing. I wanted to do a tune-up. It's idling weird. I don't know why, like, the idle's been hunting, and, you know, a warm start, it's like it wants to die. It's doing goofy stuff, so I bought oxygen sensors, engine coolant temperature sensor, plugs. I got a new cap and rotor. Just going to go through it. You know, all that stuff's old. I don't think I've changed any of those sensors since I did the stroker motor, so that goes back to 03. So, got to get that tidied up, and then I'm actually going to have to roll the lips on the quarter panels. So I ordered the tool to do that. That should be here this week. So the plan is, you know, I got a K-member brace to throw on this thing too. So hopefully today, get the K-member brace back on there, do the tune-up and the sensors, and then hopefully by the end of this week, you know, have the quarter panels rolled out so I'm not rubbing against the tires anymore. Just get this thing pretty much sorted out to where, you know, the last step will be putting that gear in, but, you know, for now, I mean, I might just put that on the back burner because, like I said, I really want to get my dad's car going. So yeah, that's kind of the update on what's been going on. But it's kind of funny too, these rims, like, I don't know, back in March I was looking at rims, and I mean, I'm really not a huge fan of 3-spokes, but for some reason these 93Rs kind of caught my eye, and even when I ordered them, I was like, man, I don't know how this is gonna look, you know, I hope this turns out good. And I know me personally, like, I'm really happy with the result. I think they look great. They're kind of unique. I mean, I don't really see too many Mustangs running these, so that's kind of nice. Seems like everybody's got every room you could imagine, so that's a little bit different. Not that I'm trying to be the most unique person on the planet, but it's kind of cool. It's not something you see every day, so I think that chrome center cap really sets it off too. So that's where that's at. I'll show you the stuff I got for the tune-up then. Alright, so got the new cap and rotor, picked up a new coil, got some new spark plugs, oxygen sensors, and it's the intake, air charge, temperature sensor, and then this is the engine coolant temperature sensor. I don't know, I think between the engine coolant temperature sensor and the O2s, I mean, those are, you know, they're very important sensors for the computer to figure out what it wants to do as far as mapping fuel and all that. So we can get all this slammed on there and see how it runs. I mean, it's been running good. It's just, it just seems for some reason that warm start, the idle wants to hunt around, and it takes a couple minutes before it straightens out and idles correctly. But I mean, beyond that, like driving on the street and everything, it's making power. It idles when I come to a stoplight. It's just for some reason that warm start, it just keeps wanting to die. I don't know what that's about, so hopefully this will straighten that out. You know, all this stuff. I mean, the coil that's in the cars, I don't know, probably put that in back in '01 or somewhere around there, so I'm sure that's well overdue for being replaced. So we'll see what happens, get this stuff slammed in there. Alright, so got the old coolant temperature sensor out of there. And then this is the old air temperature sensor. It's a new one. That can't be good. The big trick to getting these out of there is you got to get yourself a 1-inch socket, and that'll fit on both of them. Alright, so getting into I gapped out all the spark plugs, and the other thing I'm doing, I got just a bottle of alcohol and been cleaning them with a rag. You know, brand new spark plugs out of the box, they've got some grease on them. So I like to just clean them all off, so you got a pretty good fresh start. Alright, so got all the new plugs in there. It's all ready to go. Cap and rotor's done. Got the new coil on there. That air charge sensor's down here. It's that green wire. That's where that's at. And then over here is the coolant temperature sensor. So, got all that. You know, when you're doing those sensors, you need a 1-inch socket. So, that'll fit over there. And of course, be sure not to over tighten it because they're pretty fragile. And did this whole thing with the power disconnected, so get the power hooked up. Have the key on.
Turn the key on?
No, it's already on. And then these are the O2s that came out of there. Pretty nasty.
Shut it off?
I'll start it up.
Start up.
It's probably not going to run right because the computer was knocked down. We'll see what happens. Just took her for a ride and everything seems to be functioning properly. Sounds pretty good.